Hi everybody, it's Az here from Heel vs Babyface. Now, a lot of people don't know how to act in looking for aid. They don't know what add-ons to use and what macros to use. So I'm going to help you all out in today's video. First things first, let's deal with add-ons. You only ever need one add-on when it comes to LFR, and that is Recount, aka the penis meters. This add-on is going to tell you, but more importantly, everybody else which also has the Recount add-on, how big your schlong is, how huge your manjuro is. And if there are any females DPSing, don't worry guys, it will simply add to their penis envy. Now, first thing you have to do whenever you enter a raid is to run as quickly as possible to the first location. You absolutely have to get there first. This is the only time in an LFR instance that you do not have to worry about the penis meters. Why? Because when you reach your destination first and have established that you are simply the best person there with the biggest dick, you will reset them and they won't be able to do anything about it. In this case, I get to the door, I reset the meters. He's fucking hit it again. I'll just reset it again later anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so we've now arrived at the first wave of trash, and this is where our premier macro is going to get fired off. First things first though, you absolutely have to make sure that the tank pulls before doing so, and we'll get to that in a moment. Now this macro, which I like to make at the opposite faction's base for high testosterone value, is called the welcome macro. And this macro is going to establish you to the rest of your raiders, okay? It's going to say, hi, I'm here to do high numbers, I hope you are too. And if any of those dickholes have closed down raid chat, it doesn't matter, because you're going to do this macro in the form of a yell and also post it in caps locks to make sure everybody else sees. It should read something like, I hope all you dicks know what the fuck you're doing. Okay? You need to make them feel inadequate. You need to make them feel small and stupid and useless and automatically on the defensive. And if there's anybody here that doesn't know what they're doing, you need them to make sure that you know what you're doing and you know that they don't know what they're doing. And of course you waited until the tank pulled because now they can't kick you from the raid. Genius. Put the fucking recount in the middle of my screen because I want to see how big my dick was, and it's fucking in the way now, and I'm just going to move it down here. Now, with such a friendly welcome, you might have the odd one or two people trying to challenge your authority with a fuck you. This is easily countered by a preemptive second macro, which I like to call response. You reply by putting in the raid chat so most people can see, dude, that would be incest because I'm your fucking daddy. That way you've already retorted boom immediately to that dick and established that you are still top dog of this raid. This is where the next sneaky macro comes in, and sometimes you find that the macro that you made in the first place doesn't fucking work, but we'll get to that in a little bit. And this is where you ask your rest of your raiders if they have recount. You have it. They don't know you have it. It's not good enough that you know you're doing good numbers. You have to make sure everybody else around you can see that you're doing huge numbers. So, ba-boom, it's the recount macro. Hey, does anyone have recount? I don't. Please could you link it in the chat? That's how we do this, you know? Some bitch is going to rise to it. They always do. They're either going to post it in the raid chat, or even if they don't, they're going to respond to it in some manner, like this little bitch here with a whisper. Yeah, you're way ahead. Oh, thank God, I was so worried. Yeah, you've already established to this guy, you're the top bananas. Also, some people might have worked out your good DPS, in which case they might get you to do some shitty additional stuff in the boss fight. That shit you don't need. All you want to do is stand in one spot, hitting the boss from the very first second of the fight to the very last second of the fight. You don't want to do anything else. This is now the excuse macro. Sorry, I can't do the belt. I have a note from my doctor saying that I'm not well enough to do it. He says it might have an effect on my DPS. This way you're saying to people, shit, yeah, I could do it, but I don't want to do it, and I won't do it. And then you fire it off to the rest of the raiders, and you've established that you are just rooted to the spot for the duration of the whole fight. And that is exactly what the penis meters were made for. Fucking Blizz, fucking switching the raid chat to the fucking instant. It's now instance chat. Oh yeah, if your macros are fucked, then if they're going through tactics, who needs that shit? So just fix your macros during that time. Whatever. Nobody cares. Okay, here we are. This is the dogfight. This is the big deal. This is the boss. This is the chance that we have now to make sure everybody knows we have the biggest dick. But it's also the time where the most errors are made. What's the biggest error you can make? Having recount on overall. No. Switch recount to current fight. You have to know how you're doing on the boss. If you were to fail and come in second, yeah, like that's ever going to happen. But if it did, that's when you revert back to overall damage. And because your AoE was simply superior to everyone else's, you still have the biggest penis. It's a win-win situation. Try and use boss mechanics to your advantage too. I've been locked on by the laser. This is going to do damage to anybody it hits. So run it through the raid. That way it might hit 1 or 2 DPSs, and if you're lucky, might even kill one of them as well. Remember, this raid is full of LFRers. They don't know their fucking arse from their elbow. They'll just be stood there in the fire until it's too late. And all the healers are too shit to heal more than one person at a time, so it's all okay. Use boss mechanics against people. Now, there is a popular misconception that wiping in LFR is bad. Why is it bad? Because this is where we can bring in our next macro. And the next macro is a sort of repeat of a macro before. Because if you wipe, this again is the perfect opportunity to say, hey, does anybody have recount? I don't have it. Can you please link it in the chat? And that way, people can see that although you didn't kill the boss, and who the fuck cares, because I don't need loot from it, so I don't give two shits, that you are the top dog and that you were numero uno during that fight. But here we come now, towards the end, and nobody can touch me. That stupid hunter in second place thought that he could fly with angels, but he just turned out to be a little bitch called Icarus and came plummeting down to earth. I have established myself as the big guy, the top dog, numero uno, and nobody can touch me. So what does that mean? It means we have to prepare for our goodbye victory macro. There goes the boss. We don't need no shit. This is how we say goodbye to everybody. We have to be magnanimous. We have to be modest. I'm only fucking joking. We need to make sure everybody saw that I was absolutely top of the DPS meters. My penis was so big I could have knocked a small child out if I'd turned around too quickly. And the macro should read something like, oh, yo fuckers should go and get DNA tested because I'm pretty sure I'm the daddy of y'all. Okay? And when you fire off that macro, as soon as the boss drops, you leave the raid. There is no chance of a retort. And if you want to double whammy these people, as soon as you come out of your load screen, exit game. And it's over. Your penis is the biggest, and that's how you win in LFR. So there we go. I hope these hints and tips have been useful to you. Please do like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook and also twitch.tv/Heel vs Babyface for live streaming. And I shall be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care everybody. Bye bye.